Hello friends, welcome back. Today I am showing you how I made this super spooky card using some super affordable dies from Gina Marie Designs. Just as a little heads up and disclaimer, this was supposed to be one of those ASMR videos that I make, but I had so many distractions that it just didn't work out to be that way. So by almost midway through it, I gave up and I was like, forget it. So there you saw that I used chipped sapphire, ripe persimmon, and black soot in distress oxides. And those are the colors that I chose for my background. I am using my blending brushes that I got on Amazon to apply those colors to my cardstock that I previously taped to my glass mat. So that is the reason that you see the video looking like this, because it was supposed to look like a really super close-up ASMR-ish version of this. So yeah, I'm taking my time applying several layers of all of these colors because I don't want them to have a harsh line in between. I want them to blend, like transition from one color to the next smoothly. So I'm going back and forth, picking up my more color, more ink in my brush, and just going back, putting it down on the paper, taking my time. And you're only seeing the condensed version here, but yeah, I really did apply probably 4 layers of color before I was happy with how it looked. Yeah, so that black right there is black soot, like I mentioned. And now I am heat setting all of these inks with my heat gun because the stress oxides, they don't really dry quick enough. This is the plate that I am using. Is currently not available for purchase, but it will be at around October 15th. So I placed the cover plate on my background and I am running it through my Gemini, and I'm gonna get the coolest background that way. Now I am going to do some ink blending using ripe persimmon, carved pumpkin, and walnut stain, again in distress oxides, so I can have a color that I like, a custom made color, if you will, for my pumpkin. I wanted the center to look a little lighter, so the center is going to have mostly carved pumpkin, and then around the edges I am transitioning from that to ripe persimmon, and then the last color is going to be walnut stain. Again, this takes a while. I am checking here to see if my area that I chose is wide enough to fit the die, and it was. So now I'm just going back and forth, blending when I see the colors that need to be applied a little bit more, taking my time. And it doesn't really matter if you kind of like apply that color all over the paper, because I am going to be die cutting it. I want the outer edges of my pumpkin to be a little bit darker so that the pumpkin looks more dimensional. All right, now I am getting ready here to run my die and my paper through the Gemini. I heat set it once again because I am still working with distress oxides. And now it is die cut. Look how cool that is. However, so here I am just adding a little bit more of that walnut stain. I wanted the stem and the curly thing by the stem to be a different color, so I chose to die cut 2 more layers of the same exact die, and I am going to use one of the layers so that I can color the stem and the curly thing, curling, what is it called, climbing vines, I don't know. I'm going to color those green using Rustic Wilderness in Distress ink. At first I tried just using my fingers and directly from the paper to the ink pad to apply the color to it, but it didn't really work out very good, so I ended up having to get my brush. And yeah, I am only focusing where the stem is. So for this plan to work, I needed to cut off the stem on my orange pumpkin, and I don't like to have white edges, so using my orange brush, I didn't really pick up any more ink in it, but I used whatever leftover ink I had to color the edges of my pumpkin so that it wouldn't look white. And now I am adhering all of my layers together using Barely Art glue, and that will give my pumpkin more dimension. I don't know why I didn't show me gluing them, but they are glued together, so it's 3 different layers, and I am once again going all through the edges and also through the inside of all of the eyes and nose and mouth so that it doesn't look odd. To me, it looks like it should be like an orangey color. Retouching the green with my brush, and now I have my background right here, the one that we worked on at first, and that plate die cuts it to be about 4¼ by 5½ inches, which is the size of your standard A2 size card. I wanted to have mats for my card, so I ended up cutting an 1/8 of an inch off of all of the sides of it. That way, the final measurement for my pretty card base that I have right there, that background, is 4 by 5¼ inches. I am going to be matting it with black, so this piece of black cardstock is going to be 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. That way I have like a tiny sliver of black all around, and that is the kind of matting that I prefer, that sizing. And my last layer is yellow. I just wanted it to be a little bit more bright, and that layer is your regular A2 size card, 4 1/4 by 5½. So I am gluing it all together, and now I am going to see where I want my pumpkin. The lower right corner looks like a good spot, so I am going to glue my pumpkin right there. And you see glue on the back of my hand because I tapped the pumpkin to the back of my hand to get rid of the excess glue that I had. Now I need the black pieces for the inside of the pumpkin, and I didn't want to get black cardstock. I had that perfectly white piece of cardstock right there. So what I did was I got my black Copic marker, and I just colored a little piece where I felt that my pumpkin would fit. And now I am running that through my die cutting machine, and just like doing a puzzle, I am using all of those pieces to adhere or to put them inside all of those holes. I apply my glue first. Now I'm taking my time and putting all of those little pieces for the eyes, then the nose, and lastly the mouth, where they go. By this time my glue had dried up, so I ended up having to apply a little bit more, but not a big deal. For the sentiment, I just went through my stash and found a Halloween-ish stamp, and that's what I used for my sentiment. And that's basically it, you guys. I don't know that I'm happy with how the sentiment looks, but I am going to just let it be. I think it looks very cute. That background, that stitched diamond background is amazing, and I just love that little pumpkin. So cute. All right, I hope you guys had some good inspiration come at you from this video, and I will see you guys next time. I will post the links for all of the supplies that I used if they are available right now. If not, I will direct you to Gina Marie Designs website down in the description box. Thanks for watching, everybody.